y'all. Welcome back to the episode. We're in episode 31.
30. Did you know you have 30 minutes?
31 minutes. Let me stop. But yes, y'all, welcome back to the channel. We are so glad for y'all to be returning to talk, shoot the shits, chat, giggle, do all those things with us, okay?
Yes.
So I just want to say, Shayla, happy belated birthday again.
Thank you.
Happy birthday. And yeah.
Thank you so much. I do want to mention on the note of being grateful and Rebecca, anytime I'm about to say something, she like her face is like, what is Shayla about to say?
Yeah, because I'm
not gonna get into my random chit chats just yet. I'll leave that for our minute rundown. That's not really a minute. But I want to say, if you are a reoccurring viewer, please check if you are subscribed. I would greatly appreciate if you did subscribe. We've been a little bit stuck on the numbers, so we would greatly appreciate it if you enjoy our content. Please do subscribe, comment. I know Rebecca mentions this like at the end of every video, but like, we are open to talk about everything, even like the comments of people like they don't agree with us. We also appreciate that. So never feel like, like after you're watching, if you're have an opinion, please let us know in the comments because we love that.
Yes, honestly. And yeah, like Shayla said, just let us know in the comments. We want to hear from you guys. We do this not just for us, but for you guys as well. So, why not interact with the people that you do watch? So you let us get into our weekly rundown. What's happening? You want to go first?
I've gone first the last 2 times.
No, that's a lot. Yeah. She literally went.
I'm pretty sure you have, but okay, I'll take the lead for today. So let me tell you something. I purposely, if you haven't, well, you can tell Rebecca is, she got her vacation braids did, the nails done. Show the people the nails.
Yeah.
Okay, she's flashing. She living her best life. So we are going on my birthday trip, which I'm super excited. We're going on a cruise. It's my first time going on a cruise. I think it's Rebecca's first time going on a cruise. And if you're wondering, well, Shayla, your birthday was a week ago. Well, yes, it was about a week ago. But this is why tracking your menstrual cycle matters, because the reason why I didn't book it on the week of my trip, this is gonna be TMI, but girl, welcome to Too Much, honey. This is what we do here. The reason why I didn't book it for the same week of my birthday is because of my menstrual cycle. And the last thing I wanted to do is be, first of all, on a boat for the first time. I don't know if I'm gonna be nauseous, how I'm gonna be feeling. The bathrooms look real small. And on my period, I said, yeah, absolutely not. So that's why, we scheduled it out so I can be period free while on.
I just want to say this real quick. We did not know this.
Well, exactly. If you were wondering why I picked a date outside of my birthday, that is why. I would have loved to, but I said, yeah, it's not going to happen. And on the note of menstrual cycles, I think women do not get enough credit. That first day that I get my period, I don't know what happens in terms of like hormones. I am tired. Okay. I feel like a zombie. I can't do, like, I think it's so interesting, like how your body, especially like a woman's body operates. Like, I be at the gym all the time, but that first day of my period, honey, it feels like I have never been to the gym ever. Like, I can't even lift up my leg. I can't even do a stretch, girl. I'm just like stuck.
It's also the symptoms leading up to it. Like, yes, you like, yo, why am I so mad?
I'm a crier as is, but like when I'm about to get my period, I'm on 10. Like tears just be falling down. And sometimes I'm like, Shayla, why are you even crying about this? And I check my little Flow app, honey, and be like, oh yeah, this why I was crying. So that's that. I'm super excited about our trip. The last few days before you're going on the trip are the most stressful days ever. Your bank account hates you, and it's a lot, but I'm super excited. This is going to be the first time we're going on vacation together, Rebecca. So that's going to be A whole lot, a whole lot.
I have
I
thoughts.
also want to show you guys what I ran into yesterday as I was coming home. The wind in Jersey last night was crazy. Okay. It was taking out people and it was even taking out trees. And I got proof. Okay. Look at this. I'm on my way home from singing happy birthday to my other friend, Carly. Hey, Carly, if you're watching this, we're driving. Well, I'm driving home. And you guys, I wish I could zoom in, but Chassis is a tree that had fallen. Mind you, before I'm driving, I'm like, I saw a car in front of me with like his hazard lights on, and I'm like, why he got his hazard lights on? So
You
I'm just
found out very
I press
quickly.
my little gas pedal, pass by him, and then I met with that. I said I felt like I was in the movie. I don't know what the name of it is, but like
The
when that
Matrix.
big wave comes and you feel like the world is about to end, cars was shaking, everything was moving. I know I had to say something else. Rebecca's like, wrap it up, Shayla.
No, honestly, I love this because I was on the phone with you, so I got live reaction on it.
Yeah, that was crazy. That was really, really crazy. Oh, I was stressing. I did not want to be an outfit repeater. I really did not. I have worn this shirt before, and unfortunately, I had to wear it again because, sometimes you try. Well, I never try to live outside of my means, but girl, I'm a broke girl. I'm just a regular girl. And I really try to like not wear the same shirt. It had to happen.
Oh,
So
girl. Oh,
I'm
I
over it.
rewear things
My
all
week
the
is
time.
great and it's about to get greater next week.
I'm glad. Honestly, y'all are really pushing me out of my comfort zone as we've just begun the year. I'm going on a flight. I haven't been on a flight since I was 13 years old. So this is about to be very entertaining. I'm petrified. I've never been on a cruise. I watched the Titanic literally 100 times before.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm panicking on the low. So, y'all are really pushing me,
Yes.
And like we said before, if I was a crackhead, oh yeah, y'all would have had to pass me the blow because girl, I
Not a
am
crackhead.
a nervous wreck. But my week, let's start. What is it that I had to tell y'all? Oh my God. Last week I mentioned to y'all, Rebecca was about to go get a Brazilian.
Mm-hmm.
I was nervous. I was panicking. Like I said, I've been pushing my limits this year. So
Right.
like I'm over here nervous because I am like, I can tolerate pain to an extent. Like I could deal with like a leg pain, a foot pain, but once it's like someone else has to cause that pain for me, I
Mm-hmm.
am panicking, right? So like I get into the lady shop, she real nice, real sweet, love her down. And I walked in there. She was like, "Hi, how are you?" I'm like, "I'm not even gonna lie to you. I'm nervous as heck." And so
Mm-hmm.
she was like, "Oh, like for me to look at your coochie?" I'm like, "Oh, girl, you can look at my coochie anytime. I'm not worried about that. I'm worried about the strip. Like, girl, you
Yeah.
about to be like." The last thing I'm thinking about is, oh my gosh, she about to be in my coochie. Girl, take a picture. I don't care when you want to look.
Take a
Anyway,
picture is crazy. Please don't.
yes, don't. But yeah. So I was nervous, but after the first strip, like they did it, it's like I don't know how to describe it until you get it done.
Mm-hmm.
I will be going back. I'm officially a wax girly. Um my coochie ain't never been so smooth. Like it's straight out like newborn like smooth. Like girl.
What I will say about there's like pros and cons to wax. I like during the pandemic, you know how a lot of people like picked up a hobby or did something new. My thing is I learned how to like make my own like sugar wax. I've been doing that since the pandemic.
Mhm.
And the back love, I had the same experience when I did my waxing for the first time. It was great. But if your hair grows fast,
Girl.
that is where the problem lies. It's real cute, right? Like the first week or two, soft butter, you looking real nice.
Okay.
But then the thing is, the in betweens is where the problem is. So your hair can't be too short. But if it's the summer not gonna wait. You know what I mean? Like, what
Right.
if your third week of the wax, you got to go on like the beach? Some people feel comfortable just being like hairy and just like they'll just let
Right.
that, you know
Right.
what I mean? But for me, I don't feel comfortable. So I feel like the hardest part of wax is like the third, fourth week when you can't shave, because if you shave, then you can't wax. It's like an ongoing.
Girl, so we about to go into like, I got it done on Monday of this week. We about to go on our trip on Monday. I'm not gonna lie to you. I feel a few hairs springing out.
I asked Rebecca, I'm like, does your hair grow fast?
I said, I was like, on my head, no. On my body, yes.
I'm like, you see how life works? Why?
It's because I also wanted to get it done earlier before the trip because I wanted to see how I would be able to tolerate. Like, I didn't know, Rebecca gets allergic reactions to random things. So I had to like prep for it. But now that I know, like when I go to Puerto Rico next month, I know I'm gonna do it like 2 days before,
Yeah.
But also wanted to mention, now I said this to Shayla on the phone. I was like, I can't wait to tell you this story. I got my hair done yesterday. I had to go get all my last minute stuff real quick because I knew I did not want to do it for today. So I go to the gas station because gas was another thing on my list. Girl, I get to the gas station. I pull up, roll the window down. The gas station attendant, because we're from Jersey, we don't pump our gas.
That's a fact.
It's a luxury, whatever. So he walks up to our window and he starts smiling already. And this man go sit there and tell me, like, you look like, Shayla, when I tell you what he said I look like, he said I look like Serena Williams.
Interesting. I don't see Serena Williams when is because of the blonde? Did you have your braids in already?
Yes, but girl,
there's no. You do not look like Serena Williams.
No tea, no shade, no nothing.
No, you guys literally. Other than the fact you're dark skinned, there's literally nothing.
And I looked at him. It's like, because to me, everybody got their own taste, their own flavor,
their
own particular, likes.
Yeah.
And so when he said that, I'm like, I'm sure he meant that as a compliment, but did I take it as one?
We gotta do this, and like we just have to.
You gonna put her on the screen? Okay, let me.
Yes, because let the comment down below. We're gonna let you guys be the judge. Let us know.
I was stunned. I couldn't. I was like,
okay, guys, here we are. Can you guys see? This is the Serena Williams tennis star mogul, all the things. She actually just bought some stakes in Toronto's new WNBA team. Yessie, should I zoom in more?
Just a little bit so I can see.
Yessie from there, no?
We looking like y'all. Let me know.
Is it giving?
Maybe I'm tripping.
Is that your? I mean, no, I don't see it.
Girl, I don't see it either. So when he said that, I was like, okay, thanks. And then he doubled down on it. He's like, oh, Serena Williams, the tennis player. Oh, I know who Serena Williams is. He's like, you like her? Sir, stop talking to me. You're reminding me, and I don't want to be reminded that you're.
That's funny. I gotta let that marinate because I don't think you look like Serena Williams.
Girl, I had to. Girl, I was, mind you, this is like 8 hours later, and I'm still thinking about it.
That's actually funny.
Anyway, that was really my week. I don't think there's anything else I had to add. I got my braids done, as y'all could tell. She's giving Bahama mommy. Okay.
It's giving is Ariel the
mermaid?
Yeah.
Oh, you think? I thought it was giving more like Rapunzel like down your head.
Well, I haven't seen the whole length, like the
girl. It's down the booty crack. Okay, it's dang near tickling the thigh meat.
Listen, everybody on the trip got braids except me.
I told you in advance. Also, if you see me drinking from this cup, this is tea. This is not like beer or nothing like that. Your girl. Oh my God! Let me mention this last thing. Your girl went to the doctors. Shayla always telling me, Rebecca, like, you need to be on top of it. Like, you need to go to the doctors, Now, as a 26-year-old, I haven't had like a actual like consistent doctor in a while.
A general doctor.
Right. So I usually just go to MetaMerge, and if you don't know what that is, that's urgent care, right? So I usually just go there, right? Because, pay my little copay, and you see me, you give me what I need, and I go about my day. So I went there on Tuesday, I believe, because I had this cough that refused to go away. And I'm like, I need this cured. I go into the doctor's office. They seat me down. The supervising doctor walks in and he's like, do you have like an official like doctor and something like that? I was like, oh no. They're like, do you have an official gynecologist? I'm like, no, I just be calling random people and just be going to them. And like the looks on their face was giving like BFFR. Like, and I realized I need to enter into my BFFR.
Didn't clock that team.
Girl, I'm clocking the T. I'm clocking the concern. And when I get back from this trip, I will be on it. I will be having my own gyno, my own dentist, my own like general doctor. Because the looks on their face was giving straight judgment. I ain't never seen, like, mind you, it was 2 doctors in the room. They gave each other the and I was stunned.
And also because like before, because we actually got to get into our topics, but the importance of having your main doctor is just like everybody's body is different. Something may be abnormal for like the majority of people, but it may be your normal. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody's body is different, right? Like for me, I'm considered like high risk to get glaucoma because I've had high eye pressure, right? So like the first time that I went to this, well, not the first time, but I went to visit the eye doctor and he was like, oh my God, you need to go to the, like, they were so concerned, right? And they made me scared. I said, oh my God, am I going to be blind tomorrow?
Right.
And so when I went to like a specialist that I've been going to like years now, they know like this is my normal. You know what I'm saying? Like obviously I do like all the extra testing to like confirm that I'm good. But if I were to go to like a new doctor, they may be like, oh girl, you have this. You know what I'm saying? Because they don't know me. All they know is like that one test. So anyways,
but the supervising doctor, he was very nice, but he's having me come back for when we get back from vacation because he's like, I want to do EKGs on you, blood work, this, that, and that, because I haven't had a physical in like before the COVID. But Rebecca's about to be taking her life serious because, you know, we can't leave Shayla by herself on this earth without me.
Yes.
Imagine her
or
saying,
your
welcome
family.
to Too Much with Shay and no Becca.
LOL. On that note, let's get into our topics, okay? Yes. So the first topic that we're going to talk about is something that has been, you know, on social media, on the headlines for a few weeks now, but I feel like I hate to talk about something when it's so fresh and so new and we don't know nothing, especially when it's something major. So we're going to talk about, if you haven't heard, a young college student in Baton Rouge. His name is Caleb Wilson, right? I believe he was only 20 years old, and he passed away allegedly after being like hit and punched, aka Haze, while trying to be a part of the Omega Psi Phi Fraternity.
He was trying to join a frat.
Yes, he was trying to, but I feel like it's important to which frat he was joining, the Omega Psi Phi fraternity. And if you don't, I feel like most people know what a fraternity is, right?
I would hope. If you don't.
So essentially it's, I can't get into it, but it's really like a friend group, like a group of people that go together. And there's a variety, right? So you pick which ideas or like which one you feel more close to.
So they're Greek orgs. And within these Greek orgs, you can have a fraternity, which is more for the males, and then you have sororities, which is for the females. And there are different types of like Greek sororities, but the one we're talking about is mainly the ones that we see within the Black community, which is part of which is classified as D9. So,
all right. So he was only 20 years old, and he was from Louisiana, and he was a junior majoring in mechanical engineering, and he was attending the Southern University, right? He was also part of like their band. And according to reports, he went to like an outside event from the school. Like it wasn't an event connected to the school. It was like just another event that had to do with his sorority. And he was I keep saying sorority.
I got you, girl. It's okay. Because you know, these people get a little sensitive with the stuff.
No, listen, you could clock me. My memory is bad. So the moral of the story is we want to talk about this guy who was hit and killed throughout this process of him trying to join the Omega Psi Phi Fraternity, right? He was going to Southern University, and reports are coming out at first, like his frat brothers or the people in the organization had told police one thing, and then now other things are coming out, right? And actually, like this morning, one of the members that were a part of this fraternity, his name is Caleb McCrae. He turned himself into the police Thursday night, a week after Southern University and A&M college student Caleb Wilson died. McCrae faces charges of manslaughter and criminal hazing. His attorney did not respond to requests for comments from NBC News. So several suspects are now involved in Wilson's death, right? And a little backstory about like how they found him, right? So police were first made aware of his death February 26th around 2:40 a.m. Okay. Police were informed about Caleb Wilson's death. 2:40 a.m. Nothing nice could be happening at 2:40 a.m.
Exactly.
And it was initially reported that Wilson died the next day. Authorities were initially told that a group of males had dropped Wilson off at the emergency room and stated that he had collapsed while playing basketball at a park. The group left the hospital before police arrived, right? Moore said detectives learned that the incident occurred at a warehouse and that Wilson died, quote, as a direct result of a hazing incident where he was punched in the chest multiple times while pledging to Omega Psi Phi. And I want to show, do we have a photo of him? Because we keep talking about Caleb, but there's no photo.
No, I don't have a photo of him, but I do have, actually, I have the news article, the news clip that has the photo of him in it. So I'll play that.
Well, the East Baton Rouge District Attorney says although the death investigation of Southern University student Caleb Wilson may take a while, the thought of pressing charges is at the top of the list.
Louisiana First News reporter Deshaun Johnson joins us in studio now. Deshaun, now you spoke with the DA. What else is he saying about this?
Well, Christina Andre, District Attorney Hiller Moore says he, like many others, are frustrated about this situation and says he's working with the Baton Rouge Police Department to make sure those involved are held accountable. New details surrounding the death of 20-year-old Caleb Wilson are starting to come to light. Southern now saying they see this as a hazing incident.
Their hazing can be either a misdemeanor hazing, can be a felony hazing when there's a death that's involved.
Wilson died after he was allegedly punched in the chest during the ritual at this warehouse.
There are many people that were there, several people that were there, maybe 15 or 20, and had different levels of folks' pledges versus folks that were older members.
Now he and Baton Rouge police say they're working to put the pieces together. Moore says the coroner has to run more tests, but in his opinion, the answer is clear.
There was no outward sign of physical damage or injury. All the indications are to us that the person died as a result of the activities that were going on that night.
Wilson was in the process of pledging into Omega Psi Phi Fraternity. Moore says it's unfortunate the same ones who put him through the process could be responsible for his death. It's unclear how many could potentially face charges in Wilson's death, but what is how many they can be hit with.
Other potential charges are like negligent homicide, manslaughter, obstruction of justice, just a few different charges that I assume that the police are considering that we would potentially consider as well.
Moore says he feels for the Wilson family. Wilson was just a junior majoring in mechanical engineering. Now all that's left is his memory and unanswered questions.
And to have your son come home not with a cap and gown but in a black bag is very difficult to accept and take.
Moore says Southern University has been relieving the stress by providing names and information. He says with everything still new and interviews still happening, this case may take a while.
I know that they worked extremely hard, very diligent to try to come to some type of conclusion, but we're only at the beginning. We have a long way to go.
And Moore says once the potential charges are filed against those who were involved, Baton Rouge police can not only request a warrant from the judge, but take this case to a grand jury. In studio, Deshaun Johnson, Louisiana First News.
And I just want to start off by saying, my heart goes out to the family, because the one thing that the district attorney mentioned in here when he was just imagine your child, instead of coming home in a cap and gown, they're coming home in a body bag. And it's like, oh, that breaks my heart.
And I feel like a lot of times, like, the parents don't even know that they're crossing. You know what I'm saying? Because depending on what frat or sorority, like, you need to keep it under wraps, and like they're very like on the low about everything. So like Rebecca mentioned, we first want to say, like, our hearts go out to this family. Like, he was only 20 years old. Like, you know, he seemed to be very engaged with the community. He was a part of the marching band. Like, he was a junior, like literally about to soon be a graduate. Like, there's nothing that we can say that can, you know, make the family feel better. But I think as college students, right, like, yes, we've been graduated, but I want to talk about, first of all, none of us joined sorority because we're women, right? We would join sororities. Let's talk about, why did you ever want to join a sorority? If you did, why didn't you?
Okay, so I already know this is going to be a touchy subject for some, because, you know, the people who ride for these frats and sororities, that when you talk to them, they will, I pledge to da-da-da-da because we do this, da-da-da-da. Congratulations. I'm glad you remembered the script. I hope you know your Bible verses like that. I hope you know the Quran like that. Whatever, right? I was interested in it because I do have friends who are a part of sororities and friends who are a part of frats. I used to talk to people who were like literally were a part of frats. Like, I've seen some of the stuff, I've heard the stories. And so before like I even knew about any of those, like, I was interested in either being a Delta or SG Row, which is also the Poodles, or, you know, I just liked the vibes. I liked what I saw from them, and I liked, you know, the colors. I'm not gonna
What
lie.
they stood for. Okay.
Yeah. So like, and it's like knowing that I knew people that were a part of that kind of enticed me more. It's like, I've also never been the type of person who's wanted, like, not even wanted, but it's like, I don't mind being the outsider, right? So I feel like a lot of times with these like sororities and frats, when you join them, you become like a part of like I don't want to say, like, it's like a group. Like, you become a part of a sisterhood, a brotherhood, this, that, you follow this, you say this, you do that, y'all stroll, like, y'all very like dependent on each other kind of thing. And it's like, for me, I just feel like after hearing more stories and hearing, like, seeing especially how some of my friends who have joined these, and like literally some of them, especially when you're in a frat or a sorority, you can't talk to your friends the whole time that you're pledging. You literally got to go ghost. You can't be on social media. And like, I'm like, that's weird to me. Now that's weird to me. Also, a lot of these people who do join these sororities and frats, their parents also pledged in these different frats and sororities, so they want to kind of continue the tradition. I never had that. So to me, it was just like, okay, I don't need to join that. And I know whenever people are like, we don't do hazing, that's not a part of our sorority, that's not a part of our frat, we are a respectable organization. Please lie to your mama, stop lying to me, because I know half of y'all really be lying, right? Go ahead.
Okay, I just want to define what hazing is, because especially for like, yes, there are sororities and frats that are, I don't want to say more geared towards Latinos, but it's just like the population is more, you know, Latino. So hazing is an activity that humiliates, degrades, or endangers someone regardless of their consent as a condition of joining or participating in a group. Right. Hazing is supposed to be, I don't want to say illegal, but there are supposed to be laws, or there are laws to deter, you know, sororities and frats from doing it, right? And colleges will say, or universities, no, we don't do hazing. Hazing is not a part of what we do. But it's like you know, like, everybody knows it happens. They pass these laws or these things literally so the frats and sororities can continue to exist. But the reality of the matter is, it happens. And if we know it happens and we never even got to be a part of it, then you know what's happening.
And to touch onto that point, so for me, and I know Shayla's gonna basically agree and attest to what I was saying as well. When it comes to this idea of pledging into a frat or a sorority and knowing that some type of hazing goes on, I know there's some of these, frats or sororities that say they do paper, which you sign in instead of having to do this whole hazing process. See, y'all thought I ain't know enough. I know a lot, y'all. But I can't wrap my mind around joining a brotherhood, a sisterhood. But in order for me to get into it, I have to literally be either beaten, embarrassed, like estranged from people that I know, because for this pledging period, I belong to y'all. My brain can't I can't even wrap my brain around that. And it's like, if you can go through that process, I'm glad, I'm happy that is for you.
Mm-hmm.
But to me, in my brain, that doesn't make any sense. Y'all not about to beat me. Y'all not about to hit me. Y'all not about to yell at me. Y'all not about to do none of that to me for me to sit there and think that, oh, I'm a part of a sisterhood, I'm a brotherhood, this makes our bond stronger. What are y'all talking about?
Yeah, and to that note, I feel like for me and my experience, number one, I grew up broke. So I didn't know about a part of this is you got dues. You got to pay money. It's also not free, honey. Fundraisers need to be had. Money needs to be raised for you to be a part of this. Aside from all the other stuff, you also need money. So the reason why I would have wanted to join one was really just for the shows, because I like to dance. I love music coordination. And I said, no tea, no shade. I would eat down for the show. Okay. So that was my, this is why I wanted to join. Not really for the friendships. And I understand also this is a very good way to network, right? Because there are a lot of these frats and sororities that, like Rebecca said, is generational, right? So if you are a part of it, they have their own community service, their own events that they host of people that are at the top. And you know what I'm saying? Networking is key in college and just throughout your whole life, throughout career. And these frats and sororities are also a big networking thing. But the more I kind of did a little bit of research on it, number one, I'm not paying to be no one's friend. And I know, because I know people are going to clack, I know it's more to it in these frats and sororities. There's these whole things, it's so many meanings. I get it. But at the end of the day, if you don't pay your dues, you're not a part of it. So I'm not paying money. I'm already struggling with my little 2 jobs just to make it through college. Number two, I don't understand this whole concept of breaking you down to bring you up. You know what I'm saying? No, I wouldn't even let the military do something like that. I'm not joining ROTC. I'm not doing none of that. And also, I know my personality type. I just know, regardless of I remember growing up, it wasn't we went to Montclair State. That's another thing. We went to a predominantly white university. And if anything, I would have been a part of a marching band dance team. But girl, our marching band, be for real, I'm not joining that. So I'm going all over the place. So the more of the story is I'm not paying to be a part of a sorority. And also I remember like Rebecca said, you have to go MIA. Maybe every sorority at every school or frat does it differently depending on what members or the leads at your school are. Maybe some are more lenient than others. That's probably right. Okay. So it was after she had made it out, you know what I'm saying? They do it's one night that it's a whole big deal. Everyone comes in and they're supporting you because you finally gonna make it out, whatever. And literally, supposedly, I think she wrote this on her Instagram caption. It was,
wait, who?
It's a friend from high school.
Oh, you ain't say that.
Okay, so a friend from high school. We didn't go to the same college, but we follow each other because we went to high school. And I believe 10 people were started off, and only 2 or 3 made it out. And when I read that, I'm happy for you. But if you are telling me that 10 people started and only 3 survived, they try to make it seem like only the strong survive. But I'm that is so clear that they hazed y'all. And I don't want any friendship like that. Because no tea, no shade. I was telling Rebecca last night, if Rebecca punched me, I'm not, first of all, yes, I may be shorter and smaller, but I will be swinging back and we cannot be friends. Like, that's not, like, I can't look at you in the face after you punched me.
Yeah,
love. No, you don't. You just punched me.
But, and like, I just want to preface this by saying, because of the personality types that Shayla and I have, that is why joining a sorority was never something that like really moved us to going in the direction of. Yeah. And I'm not saying that people with our personalities don't join sororities and stuff like that, because it's like, just because you have a strong personality and we think this way, you may perceive the situation differently. Yeah. You may perceive, because you got a strong personality and because you can handle and withstand whatever pressure people put on you, that motivates you even more to go in that direction. And that's great for you. But for me, the way I'm thinking, Caleb Wilson could have been anybody. Mm-hmm. He could have been you. Just because you survived it does not mean that couldn't have been you. No. And I remember there was a movie on Netflix. It was called Burning Sands. And I remember we watched it when I was in college. And it's basically kind of the same story kind of going on with Caleb Wilson, where they were all joining a frat and they were literally pushing these dudes to the brink. And it was to the point where the one dude died and they just dropped him off at the hospital. And it's like, I remember seeing that and my heart broke, because I was like, why? Like, I just need to understand what about that makes sense to you. What does that mean to you? And if you feel like that means something so significant to you, then great. But I just want everybody to understand, because I feel like ever since I've seen this whole incident happening, especially with everybody talking about Caleb Wilson, a lot of the people who are in frats and sororities have been real silent. And it's like, y'all know why y'all are being silent, because y'all know y'all have been a part of situations like this, but the outcome just wasn't the same for you.
And Omega Psi Phi is a humongous, like, the members, I'm sure, I don't know the stats, but honey, the members is membering. There is a very big fraternity. There's a lot of members in all places, high and low. And like Rebecca said, like, we're just speaking from in terms of like, we would have loved to join one, but this is why we didn't. Of course, everyone's experience is different. I also have friends that are still to this day, they're very involved and they go back to, to Montclair and what their respective colleges, and they're still very much engaged. And like I said, I think also another big important key to this is every school may be different. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you feel like hazing is necessary in order to prove, like, are you one of us? I just think maybe there needs to be like levels to this. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if punching is that way. You know what I'm saying? Like let's figure out different ways to, kind of be like, oh, do these people fit who we are and the goal and what we stand for? Because I just think anything that has to do with physical pain is just not the way to go. Yeah. I don't think that's right. And again, that is not a way to prove friendship. So again, our hearts go out to Caleb and the family. And I hope these, frats and sororities, the heads of these things are keeping an eye on this, because I'm sure this also happens in a lot of, schools. This story just happened to get way more attention because, number one, a lot of these men lied. The same men that were supposed to be your brothers lied, said that y'all was playing basketball, dumped you off at the hospital.
No, they didn't dump him. Did they dump him at the hospital?
I don't know about dump, but they did take him to the hospital, but they left. They just lied to authorities and said they were playing basketball when they knew very much they was not playing basketball at 2:40 a.m.
Exactly. And I just want to mention this last thing. Like Shayla mentioned, a lot of states have that, hazing is supposed to be illegal in like at different colleges and universities when it comes to these sororities and frats. And I just want to say my favorite phrase to always go by is, it's only illegal if you get caught. And it's like, Shayla knows I say that all the time.
And it's very true.
It is. So it's like, yes, we understand that it is illegal And some people are going to say, yes, it's illegal. That's why you always hear these different people talk about, in our sorority, our frat, we don't do yeah, whatever. But like, there's no way to really police or like really govern that within these like sororities and frats. They may say, oh, I'm going, like, yes, our organization is going to follow that. But it's like, there's no real way for you to police that because you're not with them 24/7.
Well, the leaders have to make these decisions. The leaders of these organizations, these Greek life, they are the ones that need to be held responsible, because at the end of the day, that's the same thing with, like, I know this is left, but like with United Healthcare, if you are a leader of an organization, you need to understand that you are going to be held responsible for whatever happens. I know it is hard because especially a lot of these things, they be happening at night in the dark. I remember like when I was in school, you would know someone is pledging, or like regardless of if they can say or not, this guy would always show up to class, number one, late, tired. And it was like a few weeks, it happened again and again. I'm like, something is not right with this person. And in my mind, I'm like, how can you want to be a part of this organization that, number one, is making you be late to your classes, which in turn is hindering you, and you're paying them?
Listen, I've seen and heard a lot of things. Like, we used to know this one girl was pledging because they used to, like, their pledging group had to all wear the same outfits and walk together and wait for each other after classes so they could walk in a straight line, not next to each other, girl, in a straight line. I'm like, you know what? Y'all need to join the military. They looking for people like y'all. Okay.
Listen, let's move on. But again, if you are part of these frats and sororities and this was not your truth, I'm happy that you made it out. And yeah.
Right. Now let's get into our social corner. Welcome to the social corner. And if you are new here, quick little description. Our social corner is basically where we talk about some of the things that have been trending on the socials that Shayla has seen or I have seen that we just wanted to talk about and give our takes on. We're not going to spend a whole 30 minutes talking about it, but we will spend 5, 10, maybe a little bit of 12 minutes on each topic or together. So the first thing that we're going to talk about is Shayla, help me.
Millie Bobby Brown.
Yes.
So, go ahead.
No, you can go ahead, girl.
Okay, so if you don't know who Millie Bobby Brown is, y'all watch Stranger Things from Netflix. At least that's where I mainly know her from. When Stranger Things, the series, first came out on Netflix, that was the moment. Okay, everybody was watching it. Everybody, like, that was the thing. And I feel like they just took too long to drop several of their seasons. And so I feel like they kind of dropped in terms of like the spotlight on Netflix. But Millie Bobby Brown, when she first started, you know, acting in Stranger Things, she was very young. All like the kids that are on Stranger Things, they were very young. You know, probably like this was the role that started their career or kind of like got them to pop off. And, you know, through the years, they have grown. Obviously, they're humans, you know, not only in their careers, they're doing bigger and better things, but also like personal life. They're aging. They don't look how they were when they were children when the series once started. So Millie had been, you know, like outside living her life. And recently she clocked some tea because there were some journalists and media people that were saying not very nice things about her. And baby, she did not mince her words. She said, I am going to clock the tea. And she even went as far as to name names, which a lot of people don't do. Okay, let's play that clip.
I got you.
Hey everyone, it's Millie. I want to take a moment to address something that I think is bigger than just me. Something that affects every young woman who grows up under public scrutiny. I think this is very necessary to talk about. I started in the industry when I was 10 years old. I grew up in front of the world, and for some reason, people can't seem to grow up with me. Instead, they act like I'm supposed to stay frozen in time, like I should still look the way I did on Stranger Things Season 1. And because I don't, I'm now a target. I want to talk about some of the articles that have recently released while I'm on my press tour, and some of the writers who are so desperate to tear young women down. One article reads, "Why are Gen Zers like Millie Bobby Brown aging so badly?" written by Lydia Hawkin. What has Millie Bobby Brown done to her face? Written by John Eli. Millie Bobby Brown mistaken for someone's mum as she guides younger sister Ava through LA. Written by Cassie Carpenter. Another article reads, Little Britain's Matt Lucas takes savage swipe at Millie Bobby Brown's new mummy makeover look. Written by Bethann Edwards. Amplifying an insult rather than questioning why a grown man is mocking a young woman's appearance. This isn't journalism. This is bullying. The fact that adult writers are spending their time dissecting my face, my body, my choices is disturbing, and the fact that some of these articles are written by women makes it even worse.
It be your own people. Thoughts, Rebecca, when I sent you this, when you saw it?
So one thing I will say, so I've never really watched Stranger Things, but I have seen, like, I know the cast, right? And I've covered events pertaining to the cast. So, like, I will say when she first joined the cast, she was like a child. I think she was like, what, like 5?
She said 10 on the video. She's
10, yeah, like 10 years old. And I'm like, now I believe she's 20 or 21. She's in her early 20s.
She even married.
Girl, right. Way before me at 26. Anyway, no comparisons here. When I saw that, I think as people, we make comments about people's appearances all the time because we feel like we're entitled to judgment, right? I won't lie to you. I do it. I'm sure Shayla's made comments. I'm sure we all do it. The problem I have, because as people who are journalists, Shayla and I, when it comes to certain things, you have to gauge the importance. What does talking about her, like, a mommy makeover, or why people like Millie Bobby Brown. I said Millie Bobby Brown. Is that her name?
Yes, it is Millie.
I don't know why.
Millie. Let's go by Millie.
Millie. Like, people talking about her and saying why people like her are aging poorly. It's like, she's 20 something. Her body is developed. Not only that, she's married. She's a grown woman. What did y'all want her to look like? Is the question I have. And it's like, I think it's just weird to do a whole entire article about it. And I'm glad that she mentioned the people who did these articles, because it's just like, a lot of times as journalists, I will even attest to it, there's times where I have to write certain articles. And I know, let's say, like, I had to write like a certain article where I had to bash or whatever, do whatever. It's like you throw stones and then hide your hands. It's like, it's very easy to type and publish and think that there's no backlash or nothing's going to happen to you because you're not in their face. You're going to read the article, and how many people really about to sit there and clock an article on the internet? Not many people. So I'm glad she mentioned that, because it's just like, if I'm consistently seeing people talk about how I look, how I dress, how I'm this, and y'all are writing whole op-eds about it, let me share my thoughts with you since you got thoughts on me.
That part.
And that's honestly what I thought. When I saw it, I was just like, go ahead, girl. Name them people. Tell them.
I love how she was so calm with her read. Like, I aspire to be like that, because one thing about me, honey, I speak loud as is, like, just how I'm built. Hello, I'm Caribbean. But she was just very calm. Like, if you was just watching the video with no audio, honey, you would thought she was just talking about regular. But she was going off, but in a nice,
right. And she had also did like a whole Instagram post where, like, obviously, if you want to read that,
she was talking about the same situation, clocking the tea again. My feelings are, again, I feel like this is the double-edged sword of being a child actor, being in the industry at a young age. A lot of these child stars, when they grow up, they talk about all the trauma they faced when they were younger. You know what I'm saying? And it does suck that, like, they had to deal with this in order for us to have fun. Not have fun, but, like, we were enjoying this series, right? Stranger Things, when it first came out, it was the thing. And we were all enjoying it and having, the best time of our lives watching these series. And then now it's kind of like she's older. And like she said, like, y'all not willing to grow up with me. The same thing happened with Miley Cyrus. I feel like Miley was a big thing in our generation. And when you know, she stopped with Hannah Montana and like she went through her phase of wilding out. Justin Bieber went through his phase of wilding out. All these young child stars that rebel because, you know what I'm saying? They were kind of like held in this box and they didn't see them for anything else other than like who they were when they were younger. And I think as journalists, we have to, you know what I'm saying? Like, who cares? How is that moving a story forward? Yes, I feel like amplifying hate is never going to move anything. And I understand that sometimes you do need to, right? But I just feel like in this moment, like her about how she's aging means nothing. Like her talent, she's still an amazing actress. And what does that have to do with anything? You know what I'm saying? Like, is she auditioning to be America's Next Top Model? Like, what?
And to your point, so you mentioned like, you know, when Miley Cyrus had her like rebellious phase, Justin Bieber, even Britney Spears when she went through her own stuff. It's like, I get it. We've seen these people progress through life. And when they do have these rebellious moments, okay, article, TV segment, report on that. But y'all reporting on mind you, the girl not doing nothing. She just literally working and living life. And here y'all, why she aging like milk? Like that.
What?
Like,
and the thing is, probably the person writing it, let's see how you look like.
Like,
anyways,
and I'm like, to me, honestly, she don't look bad. And to me, I think she looks like, honestly, if you told me she was 21, I would guess she looks more mature. Like she carries herself that way.
But she has to grow up fast. You know what I mean?
But like, me, I think she looks like 25.
Everyone's life is different. If we had her schedule, honey, probably things
y'all would see some crow's feet and think a girl look 36. Actually, I'm dragging it. Don't ever say
booked and busy since 10.
Literally. All right, but let's get into our next topic. So we're going to talk about Katy Perry versus Lady Gaga.
Yes, honey. So this took me out. Imagine your favorite artist just dropped. Well, actually, your second favorite artist just dropped a tour in your city. But then you realize the next day that your number one artist will also be at your city the same day, same time, honey. Well, that's what happened with Lady Gaga and Katy Perry. According to this Pop Crave tweet, more than 7,000 customers canceled their tickets for Katy Perry's Lifetimes tour in Mexico City on April 26th after Lady Gaga announced that she'll be performing in Mexico City on the same evening. The gag. How would you feel as an artist if you were Katy Perry? You see all the sales, they sending you all the stats. Oh yeah, girl, we selling all the shows. And then the next day, they're like, oh girl, everybody canceling. News is Lady Gaga coming.
Honestly, I have two different reactions. Like, if I was Katy Perry, I'd be like, oh, Lady Gaga gonna have to see me. Like, why would you even do that? Like, tell your people to check who also gonna be in the area to see who you gonna affect.
I feel like that's competition. Because, like, artists gotta know. Everybody, it's a small circle for real.
Like, come on. Your people should have been on top of that. And then another thing of me would have been like, the real fans that support me gonna support me and be with me. Right. If seeing Lady Gaga come to the same like city, state, wherever as me deterred you to go to her, you was never really my fan. You was really just doing that for whatever. But I'm gonna have my dedicated fans. But at the end of the day, also Lady Gaga, you really would have had to see me. Back to point one.
Yeah, and also like the other side of that is also the fact that bills gotta be paid. So aside from obviously you want your true fans to come, but bills got to be paid. For you to perform at these venues, it don't matter if two people show up, you got to pay the venue what it is worth. And I think that's why a lot of people prefer to just tour in smaller venues that they actually know they can sell out. Because when you do these like Beyonce level like stadium tours, it's not the same as Prudential. You know what I'm saying? The bills is different. This is a whole different level. And I feel like that's where I would be mad at. Like now, you know what I'm saying? Like now they gotta push the marketing more because we need to sell these tickets.
Exactly. And my thing is also though, I mean, personally, I wouldn't pay to go see like Lady Gaga. You got some bops, you got some tunes, like, and Katy Perry. When I was in middle school, I said preschool, girl, get it together. When I was in middle school, what? You're hot and you're cold. You're yes, and what? You had me. I kissed the girl. Girl, I was in there. I was doing my little vibes, little bobs. I would pick Lady Gaga over Katy Perry though.
How about you said you like Future, right? What's the other artist you like? Is it Future?
I like Future. Well, no. I listen to certain songs by Future. I like old Future, not new
Okay,
Future.
no. Rod Wave, who's your second favorite artist?
Lil Durk.
Okay, Rod Wave, Lil Durk, Prudential Center, same day, same time. You gonna be VIP. Which one you choosing? Free 99.
The way Prudential set up, that means they doing the concert together. Don't play.
No. I'm telling you right now, I'm setting up the concert. Rod Wave, Lil Durk.
I'm gonna go with Lil Durk because last time when I was going to the Rod Wave concert, he canceled on me. So I'm gonna say history speaks for itself.
Karma coming early.
Yes.
On that note, let's talk about another gaggy story, honey. Tell the people.
Yes. So as you know, we just had Oscar season, awards season, technically.
Mm-hmm.
And so everybody's having their own different little after parties. And so the Vanity Fair had their own Oscar party and everything like that. So in the midst of doing that, they had like, a carpet where you can interview different celebrities and everything like that.
Mm-hmm.
So they had, her name is, let me confirm for you right now. Her name is Hannah Brenner. I didn't know who she was personally, but everybody got different, like we just mentioned, everybody got
different circles.
Right. So her and her co-host, Paige, and if I butcher your last name, I apologize. Her name is Paige DeSorbo. They were basically hosting a live stream, like where they did interviews on the carpet for the Vanity Fair Oscar party.
Mm-hmm.
So as they're doing this, they're interviewing all these different celebrities. They got all these different people, and of course, who pops up? Meg the freaking Stallion. So Meg the Stallion pulls up. They're doing her interview. And y'all, please listen to this.
You give so much confidence to women everywhere. What do you do when you're not feeling confident?
I start my day with you.
We do.
Only you.
Oh my God. Wait, I'm going to cry.
No, don't cry.
No,
We're
I'm
live.
crying. No,
this is a laugh stream.
No, I know. No, your music has literally...
Changed
made me want, when I want to fight someone, I listen to your music.
Tearing up?
Because you want to throw that fighting shit out the window and you want to get cute and be a bad bitch. When people are talking shit, I go, turn on Meg the Stallion. Body yada yada. I look beautiful. I look so great. Wait, no, you look so good. But I know, because I watched your documentary, you've been through so many dark things. Yeah. How do you get yourself up and inspire people?
I've never seen her this passionate.
I just look in the mirror and I'll be like, damn, you that girl.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, you are that girl. So go outside and act like you that girl.
No, we love being outside and acting like that.
I'm crying. Meg would be the one that made me cry.
I'll take my pictures.
True, don't cry.
I'm not gonna cry.
Do you cry a lot?
I do cry. I'm a crier.
I love that. What's your sign?
I'm an Aquarius.
Oh.
I don't cry about much. When I cry, it's for a reason.
Yes, you let it go. Well, keep like letting it all into your music. Never stop.
So y'all see that, right? We're going to get into it. So after this basically was shown everywhere, they've taken the interview down since. So,
but I made sure I clocked that to you before. We got it.
Shayla snipped that clip quick.
Yep.
So they took that clip down. But after seeing how like viral it kind of went, because everybody was like, girl, what? She issued an apology. So basically she said, interviewing Meg the Stallion was a dream of mine. I love her music. It's my go-to whenever I need to boost my confidence before a show. Looking back at the interview, I wished I used another word except fight to describe how her music impacts me. And then she also said it was a careless choice of words. And though there was no ill intent, I recognize and acknowledge that what I said has deeper meaning. And I am so sorry to Megan. I appreciate everyone who brought this to my attention. Shayla, before you go, let me just say this, right? So like I mentioned earlier, Shayla and I are journalists. We've not only went to school for this, we've written articles, we've covered different events, we have written for actual like big name brands, right? And I'm not bragging, it's just a fact. It's a statement. It's true. So I feel like we consistently have this conversation a lot because we consistently see these different instances where we see influencers in spaces where journalists should be conducting these interviews, and they always say the wrong choice of words, right? Or they stumble and do different things, and it's just like, what? Like, and then we sit there and we look at them and we're like, why? And then everybody gets into this outrage, like, how could they say this? Why would you say that? Da, 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 da. The answer is simple. When you are a journalist, not only do you study the art of interviewing, writing, being on camera, doing all these different things, but it's a skill set that you literally fine tune like throughout the years of you doing these different types of coverages. You throw an influencer who doesn't have any of that experience, who doesn't have that fine-tuned skill set onto the red carpet or these carpets to interview these people, and then they always use the wrong words. And then you sit there and ask, like, how come this person was allowed to interview them? Because jobs are literally being taken away from journalists every single day. Layoffs are happening every single day for journalists because people rather gravitate to the people that they see on these different platforms where they're like, oh my God, I love them. I want to see them on the red carpet. And if I'm an influencer, I'm not giving no fault to them, because if I'm an influencer and you offer me that opportunity, of course I'm going to take it. Why would I say no? But at the end of the day, if you are not a journalist, if that is not the route, the profession that you have, when you make those mistakes, I'm going to look at you sideways, because this is not the space for you. And it's, yes, I said it's not your fault. It's the people who are literally putting you in these positions' fault.
But I agree. But I also want to mention journalists are not immune to making mistakes.
Of course not.
That very often it does happen. You know what I'm saying?
Of course.
Also, the other point to that is also like culture. Culture matters a lot. Rebecca listens to music. Yes, we do have artists that are similar, but we also listen to very different music. So the first point I want to make, as someone, I love music down, honey. Okay. Hip hop and R&B are like what I love, aside from like bachata when it comes to my Latina side. So I feel like if you are actually tapped into the culture and tapped into hip hop music, no one ever thinks of like, when I want to fight, I'm listening to Meg Thee Stallion. Like, no one ever. If you actually are a part of the culture and actually listening to the music, I do think that this person actually is a fan of Megan, but she likes like her photos, how she dresses, her vibe. I think she actually does not care for her music. And so she was so excited to like see her, like, oh my God, the girl that I follow, like the big name. And so she just wanted to make conversation. And to the point that we were just saying, as journalists, you are held to a different standard. It doesn't mean that you won't make mistakes. We're humans too. But if you are being put in a red carpet as a journalist, if it's a good organization, you are probably have already been covering Meg Thee Stallion or the music for years now. So you already know. You know what I'm saying? You are already breaking down every new album, every song. There's a summary for every song. If you didn't know, talk to the music journalists. They know. There's a backstory, every rhythm, every line. They breaking all of that down. Music journalist. And on the other side, it is a business, right? Like these networks, the way we are going now, especially like when it comes to entertainment, it is a very hard battle between social media influencers and like real A-list celebrity, right? Like everything is being merged, and it is creating a conflict because you have people like Rebecca said that went to school for this, and then you have other people that feel like, well, you don't have to go to school for this. That's a waste of time. That's a waste of money. I can't just do it. I could just do it, because I have the money, I have the fame, I have the clicks, and I get the likes. And a lot of these corporations, that's what they want. You know what I'm saying? Like, what is the point of having, yes, this very smart journalist that is going to give me what I need, but when I post this clip, no one's going to engage with it. Versus when you post a clip with a celebrity, no, not a celebrity, an influencer who already has the follow, has the likes, and you could post literally them doing whatever, just using a sound, and it's gonna get you a million views. It really is a hard thing to balance. And I just feel like, well, as journalists, as media organizations, you need to pick what is your priority. Is your priority getting clicks and views? And if that is, then that is the right route to go to, or get the influencers, right? Because most journalists, no one knows who they are. They are behind the scenes doing the hard work. The same thing when it comes to TV. The producers, the executive producers, no one knows those people's names. They only know whoever the face is. So,
and that's true. And I just want to touch on, like, to your point of the girl, like, yes, everybody, most people, I'm not going to say everybody, most people know who Meg Thee Stallion is, right? Mm-hmm. It's like, I just can't imagine where me here, like, sis, if you listening to body yaddy 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 and you want to, like, nuck if you buck, girl, you fighting demons. You not like...
That's what I'm saying. She don't really listen to Meg Thee Stallion.
You got other things to worry about, okay? But to your point, yes, there are journalists who make mistakes, but it's like, how many times do I need to see an influencer in that space making this same consistent mistake before we sit there and figure out what's the main problem? You know?
Child, money talks. It doesn't matter. They just dip their toes in. Their job is to make sure that they make engaging content. And that job was made. Whether it was at the expense of Meg Thee Stallion, the stats, honey, people gonna be talking about Variety for a week. They're gonna be on the headlines. She did her job, whether she intended it to go this way or not. A journalist probably, it's a double-edged sword. But let's move on to a little sports corner. Comment down below how you feel. Do you think that what she said was in good faith or no?
Do I think, or are you asking?
No, I'm telling the people to comment.
I just want to talk about this really quickly since we're talking about the Oscars. Girl, Halle Berry. Let me play this clip for y'all real quick.
I've been dying to pay him back for 22 years. Wow. 21 years. Now I got a chance to pay him back on his big night.
There we go.
It's almost like a challenger's moment. You kiss him, he kissed Georgina. I was like, whoa, they're recreating that movie. What was happening? It's all love, though. It's all love.
And where's your man tonight? Where's he?
My man is with the kids tonight.
Oh, man.
He is holding it down tonight.
Savannah. That's a good man, Savannah.
Sometimes you got to do what you got to do for the family.
You know, I don't compare many things to actual soldiers when it comes to, like, you know, the workload you put into things. Mm-hmm. But in terms of bravery and just strength, it gotta be the spouses of actresses and actors. Because and like when Shayla said this to me, I was like, the way you would have seen a horse kick fly from underneath my gown would have been like the standard. Listen, we love Halle Berry. We stand her in the community. She's very beautiful, like very talented. I do not care. Don't do that to my man in front of my face. And then you look back at me and smile.
Yeah, I feel like in the original video, you see her approaching the man and she tells the wife, "Oh, I'm sorry," or something along those lines, and proceeds to go straight. Like it wasn't even a second in between the "I'm sorry" and she's making out with this man as he's doing an interview with somebody else. My thing, again, we know that there's a backstory to all of this, but we're just kikiing like for funsies. Like, what if you were in that situation? I feel like the wife had to had a heads up, or at least I hope that she knew, because it was probably all for a bit. Like we were literally discussing in the last thing, people do anything for likes and clicks and engagement. And it was like the perfect storm in a sense. You know what I'm saying? And also, like you said, actors and actresses are used to this. Like, you know, especially when they're filming a movie, they're probably kissing and making out with someone every single day. And then they come home to you. So they're used to it. That's what pays the bills. But me, I don't know. I would feel some type of way. And I feel like people know. I guess if you're part of the industry, you're used to it. But I just picture like imagine Zendaya and Tom Holland. You know, they're part of the industry. If Tom is just doing his little interview and Zendaya is there, and then someone just goes up to Tom and just kisses him while saying sorry to Zendaya.
And that's why I'm like, you got to know who to do that with. You got to know who to try.
Yeah.
And it's like, because I couldn't imagine me dating an actor and my man being there, and I'm sitting there, I'm listening to him to do his interview. I'm like, wow, like the love of my life is doing an interview, and then Halle Berry come. Girl, I don't care who you are. G.I. Joe, G.I. Jane, whatever you were, whatever you play, girl, you gonna have to see me.
Girl, I think it was a bit, and they knew what was gonna happen. But the industry people say it's normal and it's fine. And so if they're okay with it, then okay.
Don't let your normal interfere with my abnormal, because that is not normal to me. Okay, but let's get into our sports corner. Tell them this. Yes, y'all. Welcome to our sports corner, because what's sports without women? Okay, so we are going to talk. We are going to talk about NBA, and of course, what is the trending team that has been talked about for these last few weeks? The Dallas Mavericks. I don't know which they pissed off, but literally they have been cursed since the beginning of this year. Okay. And so the recent reason why we're talking about them is because Kyrieirving, if you know him, like what, Mr. Clutch everything. All right. He is out for the rest of the season with a torn ACL. And I didn't see the game. I saw all the clips following it. And like, I want to preface this by saying also, let us as sports watchers, and I need sports companies, brands, organizations to hear this. Once you show the injury impact the one time, I don't need to see it several other times after, especially after it was something that was like very detrimental. Yes, gruesome and detrimental to that player. I don't need to see it 8 times. Like, I don't know why we keep replaying it, but like, let's be mindful. But whatever. Okay. So the reason why I want to talk about this today, because one, yes, the Mavs literally everyone, like AD's injured, Kyrie's injured, like Klay Thompson left the Warriors, and now he literally the only person on the team right now.
The only man left standing.
I can't. But Kyrie, after having that injury, you know, and if you don't know this in basketball, when you are injured, if you don't shoot the free throws that you have during that foul, you are not able to come back into the game. So let's say if you do go to the locker room after the injury, if you did not shoot those free throws, even if you are able to come back after they patched you back up, you are not able to play in the game anymore. So just in case, because, you know, after he fell, he was in true agony, true pain. Like you don't know. Like, you don't know if you're going to be able to come back. So he had to shoot his free throws. And while he is shooting his free throws, this man has tears coming down his face. Everyone is clapping. Everyone's cheering, like chanting MVP, because like that is a real courageous thing to do. Because personally, me, oh, y'all would have had to pick me up off the floor. I don't care if I can't come back. I'm in agony. I am in pain. Fix me right now. And I just wanted to play the video of him really quickly, of him talking about making those free throws.
And I think that the greatest gift that I gave to myself was going to that free throw line and hitting both free throws. You know, if I didn't make both free throws, and if you know, you know, if I didn't make those free throws, I would have been pissed all year. You guys have no idea. Like, I would have been pissed. So I'm glad and grateful that I was, resilient enough and strong enough to go up there and make my free throws, because I know that meant something not only for me, but for all those out there that were, worried.
Oh, Kyrie, we really do wish you a speedy recovery. I know people feel however they need to feel about you, but I will not deny your talents. And I hate seeing any player, especially when they are talented and especially when they are basically like a real asset to their team, being injured, especially when it comes to ACL, because I've seen Klay Thompson go through that. And there's been other players who have gone through their ACL injuries. And it's like, it sucks. It really does.
Yeah,
Shayla,
I
you
feel
wanna-
like there needs to be some sort of, well, I'm sure someone is working on that research because there has definitely been an increase in ACL injuries across all sports. The number of ACL injuries is extremely concerning, especially when it comes from these people that like they are getting rehab treatment, like they're getting elite care. And I just feel like something has to be happening that these ACL injuries are becoming so number one common, but like reoccurring for some athletes as well. Yeah, the Dallas Mavericks, if you're a fan of the team and you're a season ticket holder, a lot of people are canceling their season ticket passes, not only after the Luka trade, which was in itself like insane, because now look at the Lakers. Regardless of how you feel about them, honey, they is going up. It maybe just be now for the season. And you know, now that I brought up the Lakers, the Stephen A. Smith and LeBron James situation that happened, if you saw it, you saw it. LeBron James approached Stephen A. Smith. He was sitting courtside at the Garden. The Lakers were playing the Knicks, and you know, you couldn't really see what was said, but it had to do something about his son and like kind of like the Will Smith vibe, like keep my son out your mouth, because Stephen A. Smith has been very vocal about, you know, his son, whether he deserves to be in the league or not, like a lot of things. And Stephen A. Smith addressed the situation on his show, and he said what he said. If you know Stephen A. Smith, that's his bread and butter, causing commotion, and
it just be chat.
That's just what he does. And
yeah,
on to the next. We wish Kyrie the best in his
honestly,
recovery.
and truly. And of course, I don't want to talk about it, but of course, Shayla likes to keep me informed about certain things that I don't want to be informed about a lot of times. And of course, the one thing that she wants to keep me informed about is Saquon Barkley. So, as you know, the Eagles won this year's Super Bowl.
Are the champions.
Yes, and they beat my Kansas City Chiefs. Saquon Barkley was also on my team, the Giants. Doing a quick recap for those who don't know, the Giants didn't feel like he was worthy enough of being on their team. They didn't feel like they should pay him enough because no other teams would pay him enough. And so he then went to the Eagles, and he had a fantastic year, a stellar year, and almost beat the record of a regular season, I believe, rushing yards Yeah. So now that money that the Giants didn't think that he was worth, he's currently making beyond that with the Eagles. So he agreed to a 2-year, $41.2 million extension with the Eagles. And now he is the highest paid running back in NFL history. I just need my Giants to understand, y'all made like the karma of a bad choice is flourishing to new heights I've never seen. And as a Giants fan, it's like I have a variety of emotions, because I'm not only pissed that this, like, his success is because of my own team's choices being the detriment of themselves. But I'm happy for him, because if you do not advocate and if you don't, like, you know, understand that your talent is what your talent is, and if someone is not willing to see that, you will go somewhere else where your talents will be appreciated. You will, like, in the end, you will reap the benefits that you deserve. So I'm happy for him, but at the same time, I'm pissed because my Giants know how to help somebody else gain success.
Yeah, that's that's know your worth. You know what I'm saying? You know what you're worth. You know your talents. You know the work that you put in. And then honestly, I'm so proud of you for still being a Giants fan. I'm very new to the NFL. It's only like my second year. And I just feel like the Jets have made way more changes than the Giants ever did. Mind you, like I said, I'm new to the NFL, but every time I see their backup quarterback, right, because they let go their main quarterback, we're talking about the Giants, they just re-signed the backup quarterback who, when I watch Tommy, the Italian, the people love the Italians. What happened?
From Jersey.
Exactly. So you already know. So, and this is like no shade to Tommy. Like, get your bag. If you're willing to offer it to me, I am going to take it. Okay. But my thing is, in the small time that I've seen the Giants, because I wouldn't say I'm a fan, I'm still in the stages of just watching. The Giants just do things to make themselves worse. Like, I don't see anything. The last few games that Tommy played, it was turnover after turnover after turnover after. It was just, I thought it was a game. I'm like, is he getting paid to turn the ball, to give the ball to the other team? Like, what's happening? And I thought for sure he was going to get let go, or they're bringing in like a stronger quarterback. And then you sign him. I'm just like, I know you broke, but like, let us be a little bit for real. If you actually want to be better. But what draft? They might draft someone from the draft. What number they got? Do we know or no?
I think they got 4 because they decided to go on a little winning streak at the end of the season. But my whole thing and my problem is, to your point, Tommy DeVito, I don't think that he is what the Giants need in order to reach success. My thing is, the Steelers are not going to continue with Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson is currently available. Why not go for Russell Wilson? Why not go? Listen, feel as you want about the Jets. Aaron Rodgers, I think that man is I really feel like y'all need to force that man into retirement, but he feel like he could keep going. Whatever. Like, they at least went for someone seasoned. Why wouldn't you have a whole bunch of young players on the team with no direction?
And as soon as he didn't deliver, we're cutting him. The Jets have a new head coach. Again, I haven't picked the team, but honey, I'm new to this. And in my 2 years in, I'm leaning more to the Jets. And now that Aaron Rodgers is not a part of the Jets, that's even more. They got a new black head coach. And he came in and he said, thank you for all your service. We don't need you back. This other guy that Aaron Rodgers brought with him, thank you so much for your services. We don't want you back. And that's why I'm leaning more towards the Jets, because they are making change. You cannot continue to expect a different results with the same thing. Like, clearly it is not working. Clearly you being so stingy. If you're an owner of a team, you can't be stingy. You got to switch your job, because the main thing of an owner, honey, is you bring the money, you bring the coins, and you should want to win. And if you don't want to win, if you don't have the money, sell the team, the stakes, whatever the money terms is.
Yeah.
On that note.
Listen, y'all, on that note, thank you guys so much for tuning into this week's episode. We appreciate you guys so much. And like we've said in past episodes, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. We want to hear from you guys. Shayla, what hearts do you want people to comment?
Comment a yellow heart, my favorite color.
And for me, comment green hearts.
Or a cruise ship, because we're going on a cruise.
Ooh, or a cruise ship. Yes. Like that tea. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram, TikTok, whatever else we have.
Everything that you got, Too Much SB. Let's open up a Facebook if you're a Facebook user.
Yes. Get into the Facebook, y'all, because we appreciate everybody. But yes, thank you guys so much for tuning into this week's episode. We will see you guys next week.
Bye.